Hello Flosstube, my name is Charlotte and this is my channel Clue Cross Stitching. As you can probably tell from the title of the channel, this is a channel all about cross stitching. So welcome. If you are new, then thank you for joining me. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. So what have I been doing in the last 4 weeks since I did an update? Obviously a lot of things have happened in the world regarding Corona, COVID-19. I'm going to try and avoid that as much as I can because obviously it's everywhere at the moment and you really probably don't want to listen to more of that. So we'll start with a life update and move on to the stitching. So I've got a new stand that the iPad is on. It's supposed to be a laptop stand, one of the ones that go over your lap while you're sitting in bed or something like that. Had to get that because working from home, the table wasn't set up. Weren't actually entirely sure where the table was. Thankfully that was able to be set up, so I haven't actually used the stand. This is its first trial run, and it's not even for the laptop, it's for Flosstube. Well, it seems to be working so far, so if you suddenly fall off, I do apologise. Working from home, obviously, with everything. I pop into work probably once a week just to pick up more work, because although we're not classed as, we're not key workers at all, but as I am an accountant, we still need to work, even though a lot of clients, because of the current situation, aren't working. They still need to submit their VAT returns, they still need to submit their accounts, so we still need to do that, which I'm very thankful that I'm still able to work. You know, get that money in for more cross-stitch supplies and all that. My other half, Daryl, he's still working. His site is still working, construction and all that, so key worker, very happy with that. Obviously whenever he comes in, straight wash hands in the shower, clothes in the wash. Although I'm not high risk, I have had asthma in the past and I think I'm at the at risk category rather than the high risk, so we do not want it. Do not want it. So weight loss has just gone up out the window. It ran out screaming. Trying to be good, still trying to get the fruit and veg in, but it's very difficult when I do the weekly shop. People are still bulk buying, and this week I was barely even able to get some of the necessities. They didn't have any, they had like 2 packs of apples left, not many bananas. I managed to get my peppers, my onions, so for the next week I'm just living off of peppers and onions. So, but it is what you make it. I'm not in the mindset to lose weight at the moment, so watching Criminal Minds, binge watching Criminal Minds, because it's back on Prime. They took it off last year, and I was only halfway through series 2. So when it came back about a month ago, I started binge watching it, because Criminal Minds doesn't seem to last very long on Amazon Prime. Or it does, and I just watch it right at the end when it's coming off. So I think I'm now halfway through series 9. So I managed to binge watch 7 series in about a month. When I work, I listen to audiobooks, and I'm currently listening to the Outlander series. On that, I am watching the TV Outlander at the moment. And really enjoying that. Got very upset the other day with spoilers if nobody's watched it. I think this episode was a couple of weeks ago. So, spoilers. Got very emotional when Murta died. I knew it was coming. Although although Murta's not in the books this far, he's replaced Duncan. And I knew Duncan was going to die. Because I read the books, so. But it was still emotional. And then at the end of the episode you saw Roger hanging from a tree, which again was very emotional. But again, spoilers. If you haven't read the books, you haven't seen last week's episode, he doesn't die. He doesn't die. So, which actually leads on to something that I posted. I posted one of my finishes on Instagram, which is an Outlander themed one, and somebody commented and said, "Oh my god, did you see this week's episode?" I said, "Oh yeah, really emotional. I cried when Murta died." She was like, "Oh my god, I'm Roger. I can't believe he's dead." And it's just like, you haven't read the books, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but he's not dead. So I just sort of left that. Oh yeah, it was very, very tragic, but I know he's not dead, so. Really enjoying that. Still watching the wrestling, still loving the wrestling. WrestleMania happened. Personally, my own personal thing was they should have cancelled. They should have postponed it. There was a couple of good matches, but the crowd's reaction helped build the tension and the atmosphere of the wrestling, and during the matches it was silence. Even the commentators were silent, so it's just like, yeah, boring. The matches were boring. There was 2 matches, because it was a 2-day event. They split it over two nights. There was 2 matches that were absolutely fantastic, that not having a crowd there didn't ruin it. The first one was Undertaker versus AJ Styles, and that was in a boneyard match. I didn't know what a boneyard match is. Apparently, it's a Buried Alive match. They've just changed the name. Okay, fine. So, that one was filmed in a graveyard, which is probably why they changed it from a Buried Alive to a boneyard match, because it was actually in a graveyard. That one was absolutely fantastic. Undertaker, although he was the American Badass Undertaker rather than his Dead Man Undertaker, and it was just amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved that match. Stop touching your face. Oh, I keep shouting at myself to stop touching your face. I went to pick up Daryl from work the other day, and I had an itchy nose, so I just went like that. And I went, no, stop touching your face! As a couple were doing their daily exercise walk, and I did get a little bit of a weird look from them, because I keep shouting at myself. Anyway, so yes, back to The Undertaker. It was a very good match. Didn't need the audience. There shouldn't have been an audience anyway in the graveyard, so that didn't need that sort of atmosphere in the stadium. It didn't need that. It was absolutely fantastic. Of course, Undertaker won. AJ can't beat the streak. And then the other match was the next night, and that one was a last man standing, Edge versus Randy Orton. And Edge, I'm obsessed with Edge. I really am. I really am. I mean, I've got him as a phone case, and I've got young Edge, and then I've got old Edge when he came back. So I'm constantly there going, young Edge, old Edge, young Edge, old Edge. Because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And yeah, there was that match was amazing. Some of the moves that he was able to do, I really shouldn't think he should have been doing them, especially with his back injury and his neck injury, but he did it, and Edge won, which I was so happy about. There was tears. I was crying because I thought he was losing. I thought he was really injured. At one point he was holding his neck, and I was in tears because I thought that was it. No, he shouldn't have done that move. He's gone. He's not wrestling again. He shouldn't be wrestling anyway, personally. I love the fact that he's back, but I really don't think he should have come back. I really don't think he should have come back. So, yeah, let's move away from the wrestling, because you're probably the way going, I hate wrestling. It's not for everyone. So, 12 minutes in, should we start with some stitching? Let's do some stitching. So, in the last 4 weeks, I have worked on 9 projects. I had 4 new starts. Yes, 4 new starts, but I finished 6. Stop touching your face. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 4 new starts were new starts and finishes, so let's start with new starts. So, the first new start is also a finish. No, let's start with finishes. Let's start with finishes. So, 6 finishes. First finish was Tribal Lion by KOT Charting. That's all done. This was stitched on, I think it was 16 count, hand dyed Ada by KOT Charting in Dragon's Egg. I think it was quite far along the last time you saw it, and that's it now finished. So that was the first finish. My next one was a new start and a finish. So this is Mini Fleur. So it's only 50 by 50 stitches. Absolutely tiny, nice quick stitch. This is stitched on hand-dyed fabric by KLT, charting in, I think it's Out of Orbit. It's a nice green fabric. This is even weave. This is 28 count even weave. I don't like even weave. I really do not like even weave. Stitching 1 over 1 on even weave, fine. 2 over 2, no. Really don't like that. So, I don't know what that will be finished into, but that one had to be a new, that was a new start on the 23rd of March, and that was one of the challenges in the head-to-head. It had to be a new start on that day, either KLT, Jodrey or Circus, so I picked that one, thought it would be nice and quick. That one took me 5 days, although I probably could have whacked out in 1 day. My next finish was, that's it, I've had enough, I'm off to Lallybrook. This was stitched on 18 count hand-dyed fabric, hops and barley from KLT Charting. I don't know if you can tell, but that's actually sparkly. Yeah. So, that I started, that was a new start for the head-to-head on the 1st of March, and I finished it on the 30th of March. Next finish is actually a new start, finish, and I've FFO'd it. So this one is Mini Fleur by KLT Charting. It's stitched on 14 count Ada. I don't know if you can tell, but that's actually sparkly. Ada with just plain DMC, and I've just turned it into a card. So that's being sent out in the next couple of days. Just plain DMC fabric. Sparkly DMC fabric. DMC thread. That one I started on the 1st of April and finished it on the 3rd of April. Next finish. One is my second oldest whip. I think. Yeah, my second oldest whip. And it's Pipkin. This was a DMC kit. And this is Pipkin from Watership Down. One of my childhood TV programmes. This is stitched on the fabric that came in the kit. 14 count blue, light blue Ada. So I started that one on the 26th of July 2017 and I finished it on the 13th of April this year. So that's my second oldest whip now done. My oldest whip is the Fantasy Round Robin that I've messed up on quite a bit now, and I don't know what I want to do with it. If it was just my stitching, then I think I'd probably just throw it away, but it's not just mine stitching because it was part of a round robin. There's 2 others people's stitching on there, so I don't want to ruin it. I just need to unpick the mistakes completely, because 2 of the 4 sections are completely finished. The first section just has to have the background back stitch done. It's this final square that I've just messed up so much on. As soon as that one's done, it's then done. I'm just a little bit disheartened at the moment because I don't like frogging. I don't like pulling out stitches, I will try and fudge it rather than fix it. If it's just a couple of stitches, then I will fudge it, but this is the tails, because I think it's a unicorn. The whole back leg is off by 3 stitches. I don't know how. One of the back legs is off by 3 stitches, which means the tail is off as well, but the tail is off by 2 stitches, so I don't know why that one's off as well. I don't know how they're off by different amounts, but I'll get it done. I'll get it done. So then my final finish is a new start and finish, and this is Mini Fizz by KLT Charting. This is stitched on her hand-dyed fabric in Cabin Fever, which I think was September 19's limited edition, and this is stitched with just a purple DMC. That was started on the 11th of April and finished on the 13th of April. So, 6 finishes. 3 of them were also new starts. Then my other new start was Kaleidoscope B by KLT Charting. I started this one on the 4th of April. And I will insert a picture of what it looks like when it's finished. And this is how far I have got. I have part of the wing stitched. My friend Nat is also stitching this, so we've started like a sow with it. Speaking of Nat, she has done a Flosstube. Yay! Her Flosstube name is Natalie Hardy. Love it, live it, make it yours. Which, that's also her name on Instagram. Absolutely fantastic. She only uploaded it, I think, yesterday, so I would highly recommend going and watching it because she is just fantastic. I love Nat so much. Absolutely love it. We are constantly saying to each other that, oh, I'm so glad that you weren't a mass murderer, because we actually met online. We met on a Facebook group, and I've probably said it before, but we met on a Facebook group and we were chatting for a couple of weeks, and then decided, because we were both local, that we'd meet up in a coffee shop, you know, as you do. And best thing I've ever done was meet Nat. My other half came down and was like I was stood outside in front of the coffee shop waiting for Nat, and he was stood a little bit away making sure that I wasn't going to get kidnapped or, you know, murdered or anything like that. So yeah, it was good. It was a good day. I'm really missing her and all my other girls at the moment. Me and Nat normally meet up once a week, so it's been weeks since we've seen each other, and I really miss her, and I miss all the girls, because we have meetups every other week, so we haven't had those, and it's starting to get a little bit hard not seeing them. Yes. Anyway, speaking of new Flosstubes, Claire, who runs the Southampton retreat, she used to do Flosstubes a few years ago, hasn't done one obviously for a few years. We've been, in our group chat, we've all been encouraging each other to do Flosstubes. When we say encouraging, it's more like demanding. So she's done a new Flosstube video. She is stitching Poppy, And again, I will link her below, and I will also link Nat's channel below. So that was the first whip as well. What else have I been working on? So you've seen 6, 7 of the projects that I've been working on so far. Yep. Also worked on my Kaleidoscope Dragon, which will be that when it's finished. This was used in a couple of the head-to-head challenges from last month. So day 23 was a new start, which was, it's not that one. Yes, it was that one. Yeah. Mini flare. So that was day 23, new start. Day 24 was a show me. Day 25 was stitch. Earlier in the month we had to choose a theme that one of the other teams had to stitch. We were then stitching our own. We chose mythical, so because we chose mythical, I pulled out my Kaleidoscope Dragon, which is that, and this is as far as we've got. So I've now completed the tail, the wing. This whole part of the wing is now completed. Moving my way up. This I am working on, although I brought the kit, I then brought the PDF pattern so I could use it on Pattern Keeper, and I am currently 64.34% complete on this. So it is 14 count, just plain white Ada that I got from the kit, and they're called 4 DMC threads, again from the kit. I don't like stitching on 14 count Ada. I just don't like the coverage. Some of the coverage on here it looks okay, but then others it's just, you can see the white behind it, and I don't like that. I really don't like that. So I don't know. I've said before, this when it's finished will be turned into something and sold for meningitis. Now that's still the plan. That's still what I want to do when it's done, and then I do want to restitch it for myself, and I'll probably do it on 18 count. So, then day 26 was a show me one again. Day 27 was work on a food and drink chart. I worked on, and I did verify this before I started working on it because I didn't want to stop touching face. I didn't want to start stitching on it and it not count, but I checked and it did. If I worked on the egg of it. So I worked on my chicken sow. I'll put a picture of where it last was. I don't think I was very far with it at all last time. But this is where I am on it now. So I've finished the top 3 sections, and I've moved on to part 4, which is down here. So I will finish part 4, part 9 and part 8, and then move the frame down and work on part 5, 6 and 7. So it's a DMC variegated thread, and all the inner ones are étoile with French star threads, because I can't generally say étoile, I used to say étoile or whatever. So I don't think you can tell. No. Oh, there we go. Purple you can. So yeah, all these threads, even the dark grey and the brown, are étoile. So I want to finish off number 4 today, and then I'll probably work on my bee. This is a Christmas present for my work colleague Pauline, because she loved my chickens that I did last year, because this is round 2 of the chicken sow. Yeah, she loved my finish last year of the chickens and asked me to do it this year, so I'm doing it for her for Christmas. My final whip, final project that I've been working on is Dominic. My Dominic the donkey. Let's take it out. This is a pattern. It's not called Dominic, it's called Christmas Donkey, and it's by the Cross Stitch Studio. As part of, there's a challenge that she's running in April, and it's just to work on it at least 30 minutes a day throughout the whole of April. I've managed to keep up so far with that, which I'm quite happy about. I'm just doing one thread and then moving on to something else. I will stick in a picture of what it looked like before. I haven't done a huge lot, I'm still like not even a third of the way through page 1, and I'm not taking this one off the frame. There's just too much fabric. So that is as far as I have got on Dominic. This is stitched 1/1 on 28 count. So not much progress on that, but it is getting a little bit. My plan of having it done in 5 years, I don't think is going to happen, because again it's 56 pages, I think, and that's 12 pages a year. Although each page is only 5,600 stitches, which I think is doable in a month. I started this, what, 1st of March? So if I was doing the page a month, I should be halfway through page 2, and I'm not even a third way of page part 1. Oh. Using Pattern Keeper, because it is compatible, which I'm so happy about, and it is 0.96% of the way through, so I'm not even at 1% yet of the way through on Dominic. No. My cute donkey needle minder from Kim at KLT, because you have to match your needle minders to your projects. At least I do anyway. So that's my whips, finishes, new starts. I've actually been quite productive the last month. Mostly of them are small, but it's still a finish. Finish is a finish. So, plans. I will continue doing the 30 minutes a day on Dominic until the end of April, because I am enjoying doing like a thread or something a day on a project. I might continue that. I don't know if it will be on Dominic, but it will definitely be on one of my larger projects. We in the group are all comparing on how many projects that we had, I think Kim won with how many she had. I think she had about 37, 38 I think in total. I had 17, 18. I had 18 when we were having this discussion. I'm now down to 16. The plan was, we've made a joke about how we should all try and get down to 10 whips, because Jen said that she had 17 as well and that her limit is normally 10. And I said, oh, 10's probably a good number to have, so we made a joke about we should have a competition to see who can get down to 10 whips the fastest. Kim said she might pick 17 and join in with that, so we're all having a bit of a laugh with that. We are all, again, encouraging people to do floss tubes. Mania is coming up in May, obviously. In her video, Claire, the Seaside Stitcher, she said she was going to do her Middle Earth map, and she's going to call it MapMaynia. I too have that chart, and have been wanting to start it for a while, but again, too many projects. I was having a bit of a bad day on Friday with work and just my mood anyway, just in general. And normally when I get into that sort of mindset, when I've just had a bad day, generally, I do one of two things. I buy shoes, or I kit up a project. And we're trying to save money at the moment, so shoes were off the table. I'm not allowed to buy shoes at the moment. So I decided I'm going to kit up my map of Middle Earth. So I did. I got my DMC threads out, I pulled it all out. I didn't have any fabric, so I have actually ordered some fabric for it. I think it's got 74 colours in it. And after pulling all of the threads, I think I only need 8 or 9. So I've managed to kit up a Heaven and Earth from Stash. The majority of a Heaven and Earth from Stash, which I never thought I would be able to do. And I'm so thankful that I'm actually able to do that. Most of the threads I get are from Kim's Stash Club that I'm part of. You get 10 DMC threads a month, PDF chart, mystery item, and a discount code for that month. So that's where most of my threads come from. The rest of my threads I get in a local charity shop. So they're all my bobinated ones, and they're the rest I've kitted up. I have said that if my fabric arrives in time, I will be starting the map of Middle Earth on the 1st of May. And I really hope that Daryl can't hear me at the moment, and Daryl doesn't watch these videos, because he very rightly says, why don't you work on one project and then you finish that first and you start onto the new project. So one project at a time, because I used to be like that, which is why he's saying it to me. I used to be like that. When I told him that I had 17 whips, he wasn't impressed. So after I finished Maleficent, I started Dominic. Daryl thinks that Dominic and Maleficent were from the same company. No. I told them they're two different companies. You have to have a heaven and earth on the go at one time. So many people, so many of our friends in our groups are stitched in heaven and earth. You have to be part of that community. It was my reasoning to him when I said that I was going to start. This was a couple of weeks ago, that I was going to start a new project, a new heaven and earth, and he was not impressed. So I said, oh, okay, fine. I won't, because I need to finish off a few of my other projects, because I want to get down to, I have a plan. Stop touching your face. I want to start using the roulette wheel on my app, on my phone, because Nat does it. That's how she works on her projects. Whenever she wants to stitch, she spins it for that day, and that's what she'll work on. I want to tweak that a little bit. So I want to have, I think I worked out it was 10 projects, 3 smalls, 3 mediums, and 3 large, and then 1 BAP. This is just how I've categorised small, medium and large. So, small, I have tried to keep it probably about under 6,000 stitches. And I know, stop touching face, 6,000 stitches may seem a lot, but that's roughly 77 stitches by 77. So something like that is 50 by 50 would be classed as a small. Not many small charts that I have that are like 50 by 50 are full coverage, so you won't get 6,000 stitches in that. I think that was just over 1,000 in that. So yes, that's the small. The medium, I've categorised up to 150 by 150, which works out about 23,000. So, sorry, I've got my phone. My Kaleidoscope B is 145 by 111, which is, if it was full coverage, would be 16,095 stitches. That would be classed as a medium. Then my large ones, I have classed it as 300 by 300, so between 150 and 150 to 300 by 300 would be a large. So my Kaleidoscope Dragon would come under large, because that is, where are you? There. 200 by 126, which times those together is 25,200, so it's just above the medium top range of the 23,000, so that comes under a large project. And then the BAP, the BAP, the big ass project, is over the 90,000. So I only have one BAP at the moment, which is Dominic. So that was the plan. 3 small, 3 large, 3 medium. The small ones I would work on during my lunch break, so I make sure that I have a lunch break. Just gets me away from the computer for a half an hour, looking at something other than the screen. So each week I would spin the wheel and pick one small, one medium, one large, and then the BAP. So yeah, the small I would stitch on my lunch break. Then when we are back to work, it's not something huge that I'm pulling out. The medium I would then work in the evenings. Then the large I would work on at the weekend. So it's sort of like a rotation. And then the BAP is the one that I would be working on the 30 minutes a day, so just get a bit of work on it so it's got a little bit of progress. That was my plan. And 10's a nice round number. But 11's my favourite number. So I thought, let's make this an 11 whip rotation. So that's what the map of the Middle Earth is going to be. It's going to be another BAP, so that will be one of the projects that I will work 30 minutes a day on. So I will put all my whips into a wheel, spin it until I get one small, one medium, one large and one BAP. And that's what I will be working on for that week. And each week I just spin it so I get a bit of progress on hopefully a little bit of everything. But we'll wait and see. So that's the plan. But to be able to start that rotation, that roulette wheel, I need to get down to the 11 projects. So I need to start finishing off some of these first. Kaleidoscope Dragon is probably one of the ones that is closest to finishing. My chicken sow, again, stitches up quite quickly, so that will be another one that I'm hoping to get done quickly. What else have we got? So we've got obviously Kaleidoscope Dragon, that one is classed as a large. My next whip on my list is Howling Wolf, that's classed as a medium. That's not very far along at all. My Blackwork Butterfly, although that chart was a set of 4, the first one is completely finished, so I don't know whether or not to call that quits and have it finished, because it is 14 count Ada. As I said before, I don't like 14 count, so I might just say, yeah, that's finished. I'm in 2 minds with that one. My Tiger has literally probably not even 100 stitches. On that one is probably going to be part of the rotation, because I know that I'm not going to get that one finished at any. That's a large. My next large is my Circus Stitches to Rule Them All. Again, that's not very far along. So, well, I might start the rotation sooner and just have it. That's what I want to stitch on. I don't know. I might talk to the girls in the chat, see what they think. I know that if I talk to Daryl, he'll just say, we'll just finish them, which is very helpful. Oh, I forgot haul. I have hardly any haul. Last month I was really good. I didn't buy anything because obviously everything was starting to happen. I wasn't sure if I was going to be furloughed or if we were still working or what was happening, so last month I brought hardly anything. I had the usual, my monthly stash clubs, my fabric of the month, and the one thing that I did buy was this. It's by Bags Plus and it's just like a little flip, so I've got the plastic bullet in there and it other side it holds 12 bobbins. I mean, how cute is that? I saw that fabric and went, yeah, no, I love that. I absolutely love that. It's probably because of this hedgehog. Because do you remember a couple of months ago, I fell in love with the Spirit Guide hedgehog that KLT did. And I started that, and that's got probably about 70 stitches in it. It's got hardly anything in it. But I've fallen in love with that. And I saw that, and I was just like, that is perfect for my chicken sow. Because the chicken sow has 9 sections, which is up to there. And then one for the border, one for the hay that is sat on, and then one for the chicken outlines. It's perfect size for that. And then here I have, it keeps my scissors, my little needle book, and the bobbin stickers. And it just, normally it does. There we go. And it just sits in there. It's perfect if you want to take it out. At the moment you can't go out. Yeah. So I brought that. And the other thing that has arrived is my fabric of the month from Jodery. My March ones. April hasn't yet arrived. We've got March 2020, the Year of Gods and Goddesses. This is Greek and it's Hera, which is a nice yellow. Is slightly darker in person. And then her other one is Texas Blueberries, which is the March 2020 limited edition. It's a purpley. With a little bit of blue-green. There we go, yeah, that's pretty true to colour. Both of these are 18 count Ada. We're trying to save money to buy a house at the moment, and so I have considered cancelling my fabric of the months because I now actually do have quite a bit of a stash of them. So we'll wait and see, but I'm probably gonna have to cancel, which is a shame because I do love the fabric, but it is starting to be sable, which is stash acquired after life expectancy or something like that. Stash acquired beyond life expectancy, and at the moment it's getting to that stage. So I need to go through my stash and actually have a sort out of it, see how much I actually have. But I have a feeling it's going to be cancelled. I'm still going to be part of the stash club because I do want to get a full set of DMCs, and I think I'm getting close to it. And I just love Kim's fabric so much that I will never get rid of that. So on my last video I had a question that was, do I use a stand? I have a lap stand and I also have a sit-on stand. I generally don't use them that much. The lap stand is an R&R frame. Absolutely love it, but the clips are starting to get loose and it's starting to get a little bit annoying. Plus at the moment not many of my projects actually fit on there, and again with the sit on lap sit on frame, wear a stitch mostly in bed, it is a little bit awkward. So instead what I do is I have a cushion that I will sit in front of me, and while it's set in front, so it will sit like that in front, and I will just lean the frame on it like that. That is what I do, and it seems to work. It works for me anyway. So that is my update for the last 4 weeks. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments and your subscribes. If you've liked what you're seeing and you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe. Hopefully I'll be back in about a month. We'll wait and see what happens. But I wish, actually before I go, I do want to just quickly thank everybody. The current situation that we are in is extremely terrifying and people are struggling, and I just want to thank everyone. To all the key workers that are still going out to work every day, to the hospital, nurses, doctors, staff, the cleaner, everybody. Thank you so much. The pharmacists, because obviously Claire, she was a pharmacist, she handed in a notice. This was way before this had erupted, so she had 2 weeks of this, the first 2 weeks where everybody was being an arse, panic buying and just being dicks basically, and the amount of abuse and shit that she got through in just those 2 weeks sounded horrendous. So I just want to thank her and everybody else that are just going out and doing their jobs and keeping this country going. To my sister Abby, she is still working in the supermarket, so she's there stacking shelves and making sure that the essentials are there. So I want to thank her. I want to just thank everybody, and that we will get through this. I know that we will get through this. If everybody just plays their part, stays at home if they can, and basically don't be pricks. Because when I go and pick up Daryl, there are so many people around and they are not social distancing, and it's those people that are going to ruin it for the rest of us. So I just want to thank everybody that's doing their part and actually adhering to the guidelines and what has been recommended. So thank you everybody, and I just want to make sure and let you know that it means a lot what you are doing, and we can get through this. So anyway, that's it. Bit of a stop touching your face. Bit of a downer moment, but anyway. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in a few weeks' time. Stay safe. Bye.